Welcome to Am Tower Off Center on Federal News Radio 1500 AM and federalnewsradio.com. Today I have several guests in the studio with me, and we're going to be discussing various aspects of what's working in the government market as far as marketing goes. I have Lisa Dezzutti of Market Connections, Ralph Renzi of WTOP and WFED, and Rita Walston of the immi Group. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks Mark. Great to be here.
It's DC. I really appreciate you taking the time to come down. Let's start this way. Rita, tell people who you are, what you do, and what immi is.
Of course. I'm Rita Walston. I'm the Senior Director of Client Marketing at immi Group. We're based in McLean, Virginia, and we help IT companies do business with the government. I lead a team of about 11, 12 people who help our clients market to the government.
And you just hosted a very successcul event recently.
Well, thank you very much. We were very pleased with our first government IT sales summit.
It was a fabulous event.
It was a great event.
It was fun to speak at.
Ralph Renzi, Director of Federal Sales for WTOP and Federal News Radio, and also publisher of Federal Marketing Insights, our blog, and honored to be on such a distinguished panel with all of you, so thank you.
Cool. And your first time on my show, I think.
First time, yeah.
Lisa.
Lisa Dezzutti, President of Market Connections. We're a full-service market research firm serving federal agencies, government contractors, and other B2B organizations.
Okay. Let me set the stage a little bit here. Number one reason people lose business is the client doesn't know them. Forrester Research recently came out with a study that said 70% of the buying decision is made prior to the customer even approaching a vendor. We have the federal travel restrictions still in place, the budget's tight, LPTA, FSSI, reverse auctions still with us. Competition not slacking off. Fosse in the era of big shows is apparently gone. And from Lisa's recent studies, social media use is up. Mobile is way up. Way up. Attendance at events is down. Print seems to be down, and blog or EPUBs are up. And the reading of and writing of blogs is high again. Is this accurate?
Yeah, print is down, obviously, from the early years. It has really leveled off as a preferred tool. You still have about 20% of the federal population that prefers to get their information via print publication, but significantly more that want to access information electronically.
But they're accessing those publications online or via the e-news programs, et cetera. It's not necessarily the fact that they're lost total readership here.
Correct.
Okay.
And then blogs, we've seen a steady increase, not huge increases over the last 3 or 4 years, but steady increases in both reading and writing blogs. Okay.
Well, that leads to topic number one, and that's content's been with us forever, but capturing it seems to be capturing a new audience, and content marketing is huge. It's a buzzword. Lots of books. I write about it frequently. Well, is there something different going on with content now? So, Rita, immi has an extremely robust website, immi.group.com. If you haven't been there, go there, click on the resources, and spend a month or so reading the stuff.
There's definitely enough there to spend a month or so. We are very dedicated to content marketing. We feel, as you say, everybody's making their buying decisions largely before they talk to anybody in sales. So you want to be able to influence that conversation. And it kind of goes back, if you remember 14, 15 years ago, everybody started talking about Web 2.0. People didn't want to be talked at. They wanted to take part in the conversation. Mm-hmm. So we're providing several different ways for our clients to do that. In addition to immi.group.com, we launched a couple of years ago a blog that is government-focused called Federal Technology Insider, so federaltechnologyinsider.com. And again, it's a place to really highlight what's working, what are you doing. It's not a place for a sales pitch. It's a place for you to influence the conversation about how people are talking about you. And I think that's the important thing. People are going to be talking about you. You want to be taking part in that conversation and helping to direct it.
Mm-hmm. And Ralph, you indicated that you have done something that most radio stations really haven't, and that's beefed up the non-airtime content. Why?
Client demand. So clients have demanded certain assets, and that forces media companies like us to evolve and deliver those assets. So we've delivered, and like you said, Mark, a typical radio station, or when you look at a marketing handbook, how to reach federal decision makers, radio station is typically not listed as the number one way to do it. So we've had to evolve pretty quickly to do video, microsites, customized microsites, content marketing, native advertising, as we call it inside the business, so that we can deliver credible content to the end users in a fashion that becomes a resource to them. It's not just a sales pitch.
Okay. Native advertising to me brings up images of totem poles and stuff. And I say content.
I would just add to what Ralph said. I think, content has been around forever, but I think technology is really driving the resurgence of content and content marketing, because we're now much better able to make content interactive. We're able to geo-target our content. So there are technology tools out now that weren't out even a few years ago that make content marketing, I think, more valuable, and we are able to see a greater return on that investment.
Well, there's a number of missteps that I see in the market as far as content marketing goes. And the number one issue is mistaking sales collateral for content. The number two issue, and it may be number one actually, is people can't write, shouldn't write. There's a reason that freelancers exist, and that's to make sense out of techno babble without verbs and punctuation. But there's also, when you get into the automated tools that share content, I run a number of groups on LinkedIn, and I've got a couple of people that I perpetually put in promotions now because they're posting 8 or 9 times a day. And I ping them and they say, well, Hootsuite did it, I didn't. Well, who's doing Hootsuite? So let's start off with mistaking sales collateral. Lisa, your studies cover a lot of this. So let's talk about the venues for legitimate content. What are they, and how are people using them?
Well, I think, we saw the same issue years ago with events, Mark, in terms of attendees complaining that events were nothing more than a sales pitch and they weren't delivering valuable content. We hear the same thing with thought leadership and content marketing and what's being posted and white papers that are being developed. So I think that, you need to have legitimate, valuable, objective content that is educating the audience and providing them with information that's helping them solve a challenge or a problem that they're having. And there are a lot of different venues, and social media is really a great platform to help distribute that. Now, we use social media to drive, it's a channel to help drive people to our content, whether that's content on our blog, content on our website. LinkedIn is the number one driver of traffic to our website. So we use social media to drive people to our content.
You had a good teacher on LinkedIn, though.
Yes, we certainly did.
So, but I mean, when you talk about social media, we're not just talking social networks. We're talking webinars, blogs, EPUBs, ebooks, video, podcasts. Yeah. And Ralph, again, when you didn't tell me it happened, but when I stumbled across the video blog, I'm going, this is pretty damn cool.
Nice.
So...
Yeah, to complement what Lisa just said, you've got a perfect storm. We have an abundance of an appetite for digital delivery and consumption of content through digital means. Events are down. In the recent market connection studies, I believe it was 58% of Govies asked did not participate in any events in the prior year.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right.
So you've got digital delivery. Nobody's going to events like they have in the past.
Even higher on the defense side in terms of event attendance being down. So
okay.
Absolutely.
Right. We've seen video keynotes.
So the question is, how can an industry client deliver a credible message that is consumed by their target or their end user as being resourceful. And what we have found at WTOP and Federal News Radio is if we can hold and maintain that editorial line, there's value to our partners and our industry partners in doing that, in that we can take concepts, we can take topics, turn it over to an editorial team, and then let them turn it into resources and content that our end users can consume. And therefore, it completely is the opposite of a sales pitch.
Yeah. And Rita, you represent at least 100 plus manufacturers.
Yes.
And you sell to the entire reseller community, and you sell direct. But more importantly, you control a lot of the money that is spent. And, it is what it is, right?
Well, I try to give good advice about where you should spend that money.
You have to.
You have to. And the big thing is, how do you build credibility? And really, you can work so hard to be in different channels, as Ralph said, so that you're having your message in different places in different ways. And you put one really big sales pitch in there, or one really badly written thing, or a Hootsuite that you had no idea it was out there, and you damage that credibility. So I think you really have to build up that credibility. You have to give your content legs. It can't just be a check the box, hey, I posted this blog post, great, I'm done for the month. I think you have to have it in different places. You have to give it different ways, try to make it evergreen, try to be relevant. But, as you said, Lisa, really addressing a challenge and helping folks solve their problem is so much better than anything else.
Okay. We're going to take our first break. My guests today are Lisa Dezzutti of Market Connections, Ralph Renzi of WTOP and WFED, and Rita Walston of the Immix Group. I'm Mark Amtower. You're listening to Amtower Off Center on federalnewsradio.com and 1500 AM.